I'm ready to go. You ready to go live?
I'm ready, baby.
All
Let's
right.
go.
I'm ready. Let me know when you're. Give me a countdown. 3, 2, 1, and let me know, Scott.
It says we're live.
All right, bet.
We're live already?
Yep, we are live.
Boom, baby.
Just
That's
like
it
that.
right there.
Just like that. Hey, what's going on, everyone? Vega here for SerpentX Tech. I have the great honor of hanging out with Augustine from EndlessMining, and a huge thank you to CYM Media for hosting this little discussion that we're having. So just me and Augustine are going to be catching up about why I'm in DC, talking a little bit about the event that we went to from LokoTech, but just broadly about the crypto mining scene, what he's doing, what I'm doing, and just catching up, as the title says. So if you have any questions or if you want to get our attention, please send either a super chat or add us in the live chat, and we'll get to you as soon as possible. I believe Hawk is live right now, Hawk Mining, crypto mining. If you guys want to get his attention, I did tweet at him, but he's probably busy. I know Red Panda was just live earlier. So we're just coming at you guys back to back. We love the community. Appreciate every one of you crypto miners that support us. So let's just get into it. So I have Augustine here.
Yes, sir.
EndlessMining is probably you've been around for how many years, I would say?
Since December 2019.
2019.
December, so it's about to be 4 years now.
what are you getting into? What do you do?
What do I do?
Mm-hmm.
My whole business?
Yes. Break it
Great
down for
question.
us.
Great question. Great question. We sell crypto miners.
Okay.
Everything crypto mining related, and we also do hosting. That's what we focus on.
Okay,
right
so people can get their miners from you, or if they don't want to host or provide the miners or kind of power the miners in their own location, they can have it hosted at a number of different locations that EndlessMining can help you out with. So cool. But what's the biggest thing that we do and when we go to like crypto events? Like, so we actually are catching up because we're nearby you. But last time you and I saw, you were going around at Mining Disrupt, offering people money to answer some questions. It was absolutely crazy. What made you come up with that idea anyways?
Mr. Beast.
Mr. Beast?
Mr. Beast. I like Mr. Beast a lot, and I was like, let me give it a shot. Let me see if I can, get one of these videos to go up famous, And I was like, fuck it. I went to my bank, grabbed $2,500 in dollar bills. They thought I was going to a strip club, man.
The bank was looking at you.
Yeah.
Like, wait, what are you doing? And yeah, so you went around. You look good, by the way. The suit was nice.
Thank
nice,
you.
good job.
Thank you.
So you went around and you challenged people with some various questions, advising them. Hey, I got, what was it, like 3 questions, was it? How many questions was it?
Depending on who I was doing it with.
Like the lady up front, that you and Tech Hustler caught up with. The lady up front, I think
We only asked her one question.
We asked one question because not everybody is as versed with crypto. So it was actually a perfect setting to get the general populace, right? The people that host the event, that helped made this possible, get them involved. And this, young lady probably was blessed by just this simple action, which is really great. So you asked one simple question, and she actually got it right.
Yeah. How many Bitcoins will there ever be created?
Right.
21 million, and she got it. We actually gave that to 2 security. I don't know if they were security ladies, but they worked at the event right there. And yeah, we gave $500 to each one of them, and then Carter also won $500, and then we gave away $500 to a subscriber of Carter. He probably still has to give that away. Hey Carter, if you're listening to this, you still gotta give the money away, man. But yeah, and then after that, what was it? And then somebody else won. Oh yes, one of the guys on one of the stands, he also won $500. So yeah.
Well, I mean, it's good. I mean, besides your situation, or I don't know, it's not an event, but what you were doing at the event, I think, was a positive strike in the right thing. And DJ Mines caught me off guard with his sign, where he went around to everybody and made them, choose or order their favorite cryptos and order from best to worst. It was very interesting. But it was just a good time catching up with you, and that's really what it's all about. I believe you were talking to me about this off camera, and that is, what is this, what we're doing all about, and it's the community, right? Networking, catching up with people. So I really appreciate that about you as an individual and just a genuine good human being. But yeah, I mean, EndlessMining, I caught up with you online. But Disrupt was the first time I got to meet you, and now here we are again. He didn't even know I was in town. He didn't even know I was in town. I pretty much kept this under wraps.
Man. Nobody knew.
I did pretty
Nobody
good.
knew that the LokoTech event was going on. Everybody was. I talked with hobbyists. I talked with DJ. I was like, yeah, we're going to DC, but we can't tell you much about it. You know, nobody knew anything about it.
We had to keep it per the request. We had to keep it tight-lipped. But what would have been really awesome, as I see one of my colleagues in the live chat now, what would have been really awesome is Scott, such a gracious host here at CYM Media, we could have gotten everybody together and done something. And I know our time is limited, and I know the event was kind of last minute, but next time we are near this area, DC, Maryland, definitely need to consider all grouping up. And I know what DJ Minds and Hobbyists, I think, went live. I went live for a little bit with Tech Hustler while I was roaming around Washington, D.C., which we're going to talk a little bit about here in just a moment. It would have been nice to just get everybody together. So, but I know most of you guys had to go home, get your stuff done, get back to your priorities. I'm stuck here for another evening, so I caught up with Endless Mining.
Hobbyist is saying right now, we got a same constant pop noise from a mic, almost like a tick every few seconds. No,
not hearing
everything's okay. Well, let us know if you guys still hear that noise, that popping sound. Please let us know, and we'll try to troubleshoot.
This is a better setup than I would ever have. I'll tell you that much. At my house, you guys are just sitting on a Sony ZV-1, chilling above my head. But in my bedroom, of all places, I don't even have a studio. I got to get my kids out. Love you, children of mine. Anyways, why am I in DC? So some of you might be aware already. So there was an event with LokoTech, who's going to be releasing these hash blades in the future, right? These are script miners, 275 millimeter length, basically the size of a GPU, single slot design, and there's different applications, I guess you could say, because script algorithms, you know, you can mine Dogecoin, Litecoin, and other tokens that aren't as profitable or not as popular. And the biggest selling point on that particular device to me is the efficiency, and that's really what I was talking to Scott and Augustine about. Is it feels like an efficiency game right now, right? So we have the S19, or excuse me, the S19K, which could do 120 terahash at right around 27-ish, 2700.
2,760 watts.
So that's very efficient. But then the S21, right? We're getting 200 terahash at what, 3,200 watts?
3,500 watts.
See, knowledge book. Guys, got to get a miner from him. But then we got shots being fired from the other vendors. We got Wetsminer coming out with the M60. We got the Avalon miners as well. So it's like an efficiency race, and it's almost parallel to what's happening with Nvidia and AMD. Is this gap that I'm seeing is that we're moving up. Yes, we're able to get the extra 15 to 20% performance increase. But the power that we're needing to get that performance increase, to me, isn't worth it. So that's why I'm still on older technology, older GPUs, older items, because they're more efficient that way. But I don't think we need to run our CPU at 300 watts, or we don't need to run our GPUs at 600 watts. It's kind of ridiculous. So now the ASIC game, Moore's Law is dead. That's been identified. Now it's just a matter of the process nodes, 7 nanometer, 5 nanometer, that's where we're headed. And the more efficient those processes are, the smaller the process, the more efficient the chips and the communications in between the circuitry is a little bit better, making these chips more efficient. So we're going to need less power to do better performance than what we did in the past. So I'm interested to see what Bitmain, Wetsminer, and Avalon does for their future generations. But I'm excited for it's the S21, the Wetsminer M60, and there's probably going to be like an M60 plus, and then the Avalon miner. I forgot what number it is. But what are you seeing with these ASICs? Are you seeing anything in particular that draws your attention to them?
Efficiency, just like you said. Efficiency. It's a game. Everybody's competition is what's driving all of this. Luckily, we're getting competition. We're seeing other manufacturers being able to, look at that.
Efficiency is king in 2024.
Efficiency is king in 2024. If we don't get that efficiency, the network hash rate is going to go so much up that we can't keep up with it, and we need it. Otherwise, electricity costs, they're probably going to go up. They're not going to go. Hardly ever do we see electricity costs go down. So electricity costs going up, we need to get better efficient miners, and that's what we're seeing. Luckily, that's what we're seeing. But yeah, that's what I'm hoping that we keep getting from all these manufacturers, because otherwise we're not gonna have anything to sell on my side.
Yeah, I know, especially with the Bitcoin halving incoming. You know, the price has got to follow. It's going to follow eventually, but it may not follow right away, which is something we were talking about in private amongst my colleagues earlier. Is, you know, farms should be prepared for the halving to impact them, and they should already have capital or funds, you know, kind of pushed to the side, ready to go to help them weather that storm until the halving happens, and you know the price starts to increase like it used to make these miners more profitable to run. But I think there's going to be a lot of legacy tech out there during this next bull market, by the way, and this is just pure speculation, opinion on my part. This is not reflecting anybody's particular opinion that I'm hanging out with, like EndlessMining. I'm just saying, like, some of the older miners, even the S9s, are going to be selling a lot higher than what they used to be, just because of the bull run. That doesn't mean you should go out and buy a bunch of S9s. I'm just saying that once you start getting, you know, Bitcoin at 100,000, 120,000, some of that legacy hardware might become more attractive to some of these people. But yeah, efficiency is king. And I know locations, farms, or even just individuals at home that are upgrading. Like, say they were running an S17 was an old is S17.
S19, then after that S17, yeah.
Yeah, so they're upgrading from the older hardware that wasn't as efficient to the newer hardware, whatever it might be.
Well, even T15.
Yeah, T15.
I wasn't in there I wasn't back there when the T15 or the S9 was even coming out, but yeah, even I think those miners even too. But who's running that right now? You know, there's
very few. Like, only people that I know running them are people that are trying to solo mine Bitcoin. Like, they don't care about its, you know, costing power. They're probably living in the dorm or with their parents. They're running off of solar. They don't pay for electricity, or it's not much for electricity, so they're just running it just to solo mine.
Or for heat. I've seen
for heat. Yeah. I mean,
heat gain, I've seen that too.
What is it? Crypto cloaks. Crypto cloaks, and a couple people are like selling them as space heaters. They're selling them as space heaters, old S9s and stuff.
I've seen that. Yeah, I got a guy who wanted to heat up a whole entire warehouse that would otherwise cost him. He told me it cost me $30,000 to heat up this warehouse per month on the winter, and he told me if I just put S19s in here, you know, even if he's losing money with it, well, he's making it up right now.
Yeah, because of the heat, because it costs so much just to, you know, cool your house.
Exactly.
That's actually one of the things, a discussion I had, or a video I did, where I was like, people don't really think about that when they're at home, miners, right? They're not thinking about the heat. Like, when summer comes and you have to run these equipment or ASICs or GPUs, and you're not calculating the heat that it's going to output, and that now your AC is going to run a lot more, then you're going to get hit with a huge bill. My bill is expensive for my residential house, but that's because it's my house. But if I were a smart individual, what I would do is, I've grown past my thermal and environmental limits. I would need to start hosting my equipment with hosting providers like EndlessMining. So if I did end up with 2, 3, 4, 5 more ASICs than what I have, there is no way in heck that my wife is going to allow that noise output in my house. She is going to, I'm not going to wake up one morning and you guys aren't going to have SerpentX. It's done. So I would definitely want to obviously host that with a provider. And, you know, just to switch subjects real quick, because we're on ASICs. We talked about this, me and EndlessMining and Charlie Lin caught up. We talked about how the Caspa ASICs have been very popular, right? The KS1s, 2s, 3s, 3Ms, 3Ls. There's like so many different variants now, it's ridiculous. Are you seeing, what are you seeing as far as trends with those particular ASICs? Are you seeing anything?
We're getting a lot of hits on those ASICs.
A lot of hits?
We're getting a lot of interest in those ASICs. Ice River, even the Bitmain one, especially Ice River. A lot of people want to buy the Ice River ones. There's still a lot of interest in it. Maybe last couple of weeks it's been dying down a little bit, but still we get requests every single day about those miners.
Well, it's about to probably take an uptick, because I'm not sure if some of you guys saw this morning. Make sure you guys follow us on our socials and stuff like that. But Caspa was on a nice little tear earlier today. We're right now we came down, right? And I don't know if it was earlier today or maybe late last night. You know, daylight savings time got me messed up. Anyways, point being, it's around 6 cents now. So we went up 1 cent basically. It was before that, I think, 0.5 something.
It's bullish.
But yeah, so 24 hours, it went up basically 5%. But it hit a new all-time high. If you always zoom out, which I always recommend zooming out, don't look at the charts on a small time scale. we hit a high of basically 6.6 cents. So if that continues, if this Caspa trend continues, which what I mean by that is the chart continually, you know, progressing, moving up, hitting new all-time highs. Yes, there's going to be retracements and stuff like that. You're going to see more demand for not only Caspa, but ASICs in general. And, you know, I mean, they're selling like hotcakes because people want them, or people want them and they believe in the product, like Caspa, the product itself. So you got to make your own decisions. Don't make any decisions based on any YouTuber or any content creator. All our jobs are to educate, provide data, consult, help nurture this community. But it's up to you, the end user, to just make sure that you're freaking, do your own research and making decisions based on what's best for you, your environment, your setup.
That's true, that's true. Are we doing any shout outs on the chats?
Yeah, what do we got here? What do we got?
Yeti on the house. Shout out to Yeti. How's it going, Yeti? Then we got Hobbyist Miner as well.
Aussie J Mining and Crypto. What's up? Automatic Beats.
We got a question from Hobbyist. Endless. Have you seen the S19J XP in the wild? 151. The supports up to 277 on the PSU stock. I have not, Hobbyist. I have not seen the. I have seen the S19 XP 141 terahash, but not the 151. But I know for sure that I have seen people overclock these units, but not up to 277. I have not seen that. That's pretty cool. I would love to see some numbers on that.
That is crazy, because I know you can take and you guys will be seeing this in the future on my channel, the S19K Pro. You can take that, and with a different control board and a little bit of tinkering, you could basically get it past the J Pro Plus and do a little bit, extra efficiency. But 277.
Incredible, right?
That is crazy.
Incredible.
What are the power supplies? I don't even know what the power supplies on the XP are rated for. I think 5,000 watts, so that way it could sit comfortably because stock, it's like, what, 3,500 watts? The
for
XP?
Which one?
The XP?
XP 141, it's going to be 3,660 watts of consumption.
Okay. So,
Yeah.
I mean,
It should be around 3,060 or 3,031.5.
okay.
3,031.5 is the XP, the 141, and the 134 is 3,010, I believe, or something. Around 3,000 watts, yeah.
Well, I mean, we don't have to nickel and dime it, but those numbers matter, right? Because you always want to shoot for efficiency. So I'd be interested, hobbyists, if you see that, dude, ping me in Endless on Twitter. You guys know, how to find us on Twitter and social media, not just on this channel. Communicate. Yo, Geek of all trades, how are you doing, buddy? Good to hang out with. Hang out, dude. I got to hang out with this guy. We finally caught up with him and Chump Change at the Smithsonian, the GM section or the Ford section where we want to go look at some good automobiles. Unfortunately, was closed, but it was just good to literally roam around the city, explore the culture and the society here in Washington, D.C.
DC's great, man.
But then go and we went everywhere. It was good times. And it was just nice to catch up with everyone and then eventually make our way over to LokoTech's event, which showed us, I guess, what you would call a validation sample of their chip. So it's not the final design of the chip. It's it's validating that the chip exists and that the chip does work. But it wasn't the full beans. It wasn't the full chip that's eventually going to be on these hash blades.
But tell us more about that. What was the event about? What was it? What did you see that? Did you like these people? Did you not like them? Did you feel like they weren't bringing? Do you feel like they were bringing a real project? Do you feel like what they were showing you was something legit and not just something that was just maybe connecting to another machine, outside and maybe giving you those details? Because the efficiencies are really good. You told me the numbers. We were driving back here today, and you told me 1.9 gigahash at 125 watts. Is that
1.99 gigahash, basically 2 gigahash,
so 2
at 145 watts.
Extremely efficient.
Extremely efficient.
I don't think we've ever seen that kind of efficiency before in the market. There's nothing like it right now.
And I can understand why they're being tight-lipped about it. Is because this isn't a chip that because a lot of the I think the early all right. It's not a chip that's already out there is the problem. It's not a chip that might have been on an old FPGA, maybe an Osprey miner or anything like that. It's a in-house chip that has been going through R&D, hence the reason why it's taken so long to finalize this actual chip. They made the chip.
Okay, so they're making the chip.
They're making the chip themselves.
Okay, are they also manufacturing it?
No, they have a foundry that they're working with to produce these chips.
Where's this foundry at? Do you know?
Yeah, it's global.
Okay, but
global foundry.
Global foundry.
So the same people that made AMD processors early days.
Is that in the U.S.? Are they located in the U.S.?
Oh yeah, everything's here in the U.S.
Okay, so the chips
obviously
are
the company's in Norway. If you look them up and you can go to the pre-order, it's in Norway. But everything is going to be built here in the U.S.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's gonna be massive. Especially if you can do a site visit. Can you guys imagine that? You can do, you can go actually there and see how they're building it, because if it's in the U.S.,
Yeah.
That's gonna be. We're talking about it yesterday, on a live stream. I believe it was a Misfit Mining on Saturday night. Saturdays with Misfits. I think that's the name of the live. Sorry if I'm saying
Misfit Mining live on on Saturday.
There we go.
Yeah.
There we go. Sorry about that, chump. I apologize. I should know the name. But we were talking about it, and most of the chips, 60% of the world chips are made in Taiwan.
Oh yeah.
Overseas. Okay. What kind of control can you have over in Taiwan? I don't know. Here in the U.S., I can hop in a car and I can go over there. And if something needs to happen where like let's say legal action has to happen. Let's say I put a $500,000 order with these people for miners, right? Who do I go to contact? But if it's in the U.S., that's a whole different game, right? Yeah. Cost, I'm guessing costs and maybe margins on there might be lower, because cost here in the U.S. is not the same in Taiwan. Taiwan, you got sweatshops going up everywhere. Let me not say anything. Take that back. I don't know. I really don't know how to set up.
But that's a misconception that's actually getting kind of crushed right now. It's not as cheap as one might think to develop chips in Taiwan or China, because they're actually getting smarter. Because they have been making companies millions, if not billions of dollars by their workers doing all the chips for less pay than what it would be here. But they're starting to change the market conditions, and so it's honestly just better that the U.S. builds its own chips in-house, right? That's one of the reasons, and we're not going to get too far into the political spectrum here, but why the military doesn't want their fighter pilots, jets, the F-35, the F-22, the consoles and the brains that go into these, aviation electronics to be manufactured by a company in Taiwan. It's the same thing that happened with the concern with Huawei technology, cell phones, stuff like that. You guys can go down the rabbit hole if you want. I'm not going to worry about that. The point is that the U.S. is trying. This is part of, I think, the infrastructure bill.
I'm sorry to cut you off, but we got audio problems going on.
Do we?
Scott, do you think maybe we can what do we do on our end? Maybe retying cable, something like that?
No, it's not.
They can't hear us. Sorry to cut you off.
It's the internet. Something with the internet going very well.
Let us know if we can do something on our end. Sorry, guys, for the technical difficulties. I find everything here. I don't know. I really don't know how.
No, it's not a you thing. It's an over here thing. Give it a second.
Okay, you let us know if we can help in any way.
Oh, better now.
Better now?
Better now? Okay.
All right, so where did we cut off?
That was definitely me. I timed this. This was definitely me.
Hey,
it was definitely me. Come on, give me the credit.
You know what? it was when it was the comments we were making. The government cut us off. That was it. That was it. They heard our conversation. It was like, no, they can't talk. I'm joking.
No, but if you think the Matrix, man.
The Matrix? Oh.
If you think about it for a second.
Did you take the red pill or the blue pill?
Hey, dude, come on. We can't be talking about this on a live. We can't be talking about this on a live, or even with phones nearby.
So we were talking about chip manufacturing in the States. I'm not sure how far you guys got in there, but basically, Arizona's popping off right now, right? We got Intel building fabs in there. We got various manufacturers popping up. TSMC is building one in Arizona as well. So we're going to have a lot of fabs opening up in 2024, 2025 that should make chip production a little bit better. And obviously, the U.S. government and probably other governments in the Americas are going to be wanting to look to the U.S. For production of those chips. But yeah, LokoTech is developing their own chip from the ground up, which is why it took so long. The R&D, the process, they run into some issues during production, and so they're finalizing. And this is the finalizing process. However, what we saw yesterday was not the final chip in itself. So this thing is going. This hash blade is going to be about 275 millimeters. So basically your stock GPU graphics card size.
275 millimeters.
Millimeters. So yeah, basically like a
Okay.
3080 or you know 3070 or whatever with 255 chips, right? Of LokoTech's making.
That's the one that you showed me.
Yeah.
The black chip. Okay.
Yeah. And it's 2 gigahash at 145 watts. I did some math on that, trying to remember it right now. It's 7.85 megahash per chip, so 7.85 times 255, and that's how I got the calculation, which brings the wattage per chip to about 0.56 watts or 0.568 watts per chip. I shared that information with my colleagues.
Less than a watt.
I'm sure, huh?
Less than a watt per chip.
Yeah, less than a watt per chip.
It's
So that, I
incredible.
mean, 145 watts is nothing for 2 gigahash. And you can think about that. I know that the price, unfortunately, is I think the biggest deterrent. Is it's up there. If you look at the pre-orders, it's public knowledge now. I'm not spilling any beans.
Yeah.
It's basically $2,000. But if we look at the L7, right, the 9.5 gigahash, basically with 5 of these boards, we can, you know, have equal to or greater hash rate. So that's 10 gigahash, but the wattage is where the big selling point is. So let's do 145 times 5. That's only 725 watts. How much does the L7 do?
It consumes 3,425 watts at 9.5 gigahash. That's the 9.5 gigahash version.
And what was the wattage again?
3,425 watts.
3425 divided by, I think I said, what was it?
9,000.
7 something? Hang on, I have it in my history.
Look, we got a calculator going on up here as well.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah.
3, 4. Well, all right. So do that divided by what I'm about to tell you here in a second once I get this thing out of here. So 145 times 5, 725. Divide by 725. Thank you so much, Scott. So, yeah, that's 4.7 times greater efficiency, or I guess you could say hash per watt performance, because 145 watts ain't crap.
You divided the watts, right? You divided the watts right now.
Yeah, so we just did. So
Okay.
if I had 5 of these hash blades
Yeah.
to get to 10 gigahash, I would
Yeah.
only use 725 watts
No, so
versus 3,400 watts.
what you're showing us right now is that this miner, this hash rate that you just mentioned, is 4.72 times
more
efficient than the L7 right now.
Yeah.
We're not considering an L9. We don't know anything
don't
about
know-
the L9
yeah,
yet.
yeah.
But when the L9 comes out, we'll see. You know, we'll see what kind of efficiencies we're working with. But that's extremely good.
Yeah.
4.7 times more efficient. That's going to be a game changer right there.
Mhm.
People are going to be, depending on what the company shows and you know what kind of reliability we can see from them, but people are going to be right away. People are going to be jumping left and right
So
on this.
people, I want to talk about that, and going back to one of your questions, because you asked me like, how did I feel? You know, were they selling me snake oil or were they legit people? No, being dead serious.
Yeah.
You know, because most of you know on the channel that I will always remain objective no matter what, because I just like to be who I am. I'm not going to change that for anybody, no matter how much they might bribe or.
I gotta cut you off again, man.
They're gonna cut us off again?
We got
we
somebody
got?
commenting. I still can't hear anyone. It's fine on your end. Damn. I wish we knew what the technical difficulties would be, but sorry about that. I just wanted to make sure
So you're hearing everything over there just right, Scott?
everything's good on your side.
All right. So
Okay.
custom computing. I'm still can't. All right.
Give it a refresh, maybe.
Well,
Custom computing.
I wonder how we're doing.
I just don't want to be, because otherwise, you know, I'll still enjoy the talk anyways.
I'm still enjoying the talk. I really don't. Yeah.
But
You
just
guys are
for the
missing
people
out.
listening,
You guys are.
listening at home,
Try to. Oh, okay. So yeah. So
I
some
hear
of
everything.
the
It's all
chat is trying to
perfect.
help you out.
all right, awesome. Sorry to cut you off. You were saying,
But there was a question in there. There's a question in there. So
but how does the price compare for the same hash rate? Well, think about this. L7, you're seeing L7s right now for $5,000 each.
yeah, and that's
And-
2,000 per hash blade. So 2,000 times 5. That's 10,000.
Well, but he's saying for hash rate.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah.
can we get some math going on here? Actually, I can do it too.
Yeah. We got phones. Welcome
there
to
we go.
technology. So what are we
So
trying to do?
we got the 9,500. Actually, matter of fact, let me just look at the price right now.
It's
for the
about 4,400.
Let me see. Give me
I
one
rounded
second.
up.
4,400.
Yeah, 4,400 for an L7, 9.5 gigahash.
Okay, should we do 4,500 for easy math?
Yeah, 4,500.
So 4,500 divided by, and then we have 9,500 megahash. So divided by 9,500, Okay, so that's price per mega hash right there. We have a cost of 47 cents per mega hash on the L7 right now. That's how much money you're paying per mega hash. Okay, give me the numbers. Give us the numbers on
Well,
the
it's
LokoTech again.
It's 2 gigahash.
So that's two. No.
That's
So
2,000, right?
yeah.
2,000. And you just did the price. All right.
And the price
so
was what,
it's basically
$2,000?
1 to 1. It's $2,000.
Okay, so easy math right there.
Yeah.
You're paying $1 per mega hash with the LokoTech board, and you're paying 47 cents per mega hash with the L7s right now. So
right.
cost per mega hash is cheaper with the L7s.
Sevens.
But keep in mind, what about electricity cost? What's your electricity cost? Are you at 10 cents? Are you at 15 cents? Are you at 20 cents? You
or
know
the
what I mean?
EU people who are at 43, 50, like crazy. And thank you, Custom Computing, for the $2 Canadian, because I know that matters. I appreciate you, man. Great job with the shed and what you're doing with your equipment. I appreciate it. Keep it coming. Keep on providing those updates. But yes, as right now.
Yeah.
You know, would you go L7 or Hashblade? It really comes down to what is your setup, what's your cost per, kilowatt hour, or your electricity cost, and you got to make the best adjustment. The thing for me, and we're gonna call back to Bits Be Trippin', right? Our good friend, Mr. Carter.
Shout out.
Right? If you guys remember some of the older videos he did where it was talking about density and how important density is, right? Because if you only have so much space and you only have so much power and you only have so much thermal headroom, density is super important. Not only efficiency, but density. And you remember how he took a bunch of GPUs and he kind of like staggered them, right? So you had one kind of going vertical here and then another one here and then another one here. And he was able to fit like, 6, 7 GPUs in this tight little 7x9 section. Well, what if you did that? Because these hash blades are 1U, 275 millimeter, 1U, so they only take up a single PCIe slot. What happens if we stack it, right? So we take a riser, put it in the bottom, put it in a what looks like an ASIC or an S9 case, and then we take the next one, we flip it upside down with the risers on the other side, and take the next one and flip it again. And so now we could get basically 10
like
gigahash
right
in
there.
a smaller package than what the L7 would be. And then if you expand upon that, then it's going to be more efficient for the electricity. However, I'm not straight up saying you should go and buy a bunch of these hash blades. You need to do what's best for you, your setup, and your configuration. If you have questions, you can hit up the LokoTech team. What my radar told me, if you guys trust me, and I appreciate if you do trust me, what my radar told me was these guys were legit, they mean well, and they do have a product to provide the masses. That was the big thing for me, right? I didn't get to see the actual final product.
Yeah.
I didn't get to have a hash blade in my hands. I didn't get to I didn't get to test a hash blade in my hands. I would have liked to, but what we saw was a smaller variant of the official chip that will be on the hash blade. But we weren't able to get as many metrics and data, right? Like, what was the power draw? Was it running on 3.3 volts instead of 5 volts? How much power was it drawing through the Type-C? Like, there was a lot of questions. And each of us, all the content creators, got to keep those boards. Unfortunately, we had to destroy the chip because they're concerned that big company, they who shall not be named, will secretly get in there and take over.
I wonder who it is.
Yeah, I mean, it's a rough game we're in right now. Not for you and I, the crypto miner community members, the crypto entrepreneurs, but like we're talking about high level, design, manufacturing, foundry type stuff. I mean, if you're not protecting your IP, your intellectual property, you're gonna get got. So you got to be smart. And I understand why they were so tight-lipped, which is why we were very quiet into the day of, and then everybody started seeing us all in DC. I think some of us were talking about being in DC. I wasn't, though, because I was too busy working, and then I was just like, get on the plane, get over here. But it was good because I got to stay an extra day and catch up with you, so that it all works out.
Oh, yeah. Love it.
He bought me some good food, too, by the way. TGI Fridays, what was it, the whiskey burger?
Whiskey burger.
Oh, yeah.
Really good whiskey burger, yeah. So overall, you're saying that you get a good feeling from them. You're saying that you're not vouching for them, right? You're not 100% saying like this is 100% legit because like you said, you don't have the hash blade yet.
Physical product, yeah.
Exactly. So you have one chip. You got to test out one chip. But overall, their team, everything. You're saying that you feel like
they have a
good
legit
intentions.
product to provide the community. You know, how is that
Exactly.
product going to perform in the long run and stuff like that. They do have some
Yeah.
features that I thought was of interest. Smart ASIC design, I guess you could say. And so you know how, say for example, in between us we have a S19J
S19.
Pro,
Yeah.
and if one of those chips goes bad, right?
Yeah.
Say like I forget how many chips are in here, but like say one of the chips go bad, what happens for all the chips behind it? Does it still work, or do those chips all get cut out? Don't they stop working?
It typically cuts out. If one of
Right.
the chips goes out, the hashboard typically tends
Goes
to go
out, right?
Yeah.
So if it gets to the 23rd chip on this board and that chip goes bad, everything behind it doesn't work, and it's still drawing about the same power, which is why you got ASIC repair, various
Yeah.
vendors and stuff like that. This thing, if one chip starts to degrade, there's a microcontroller that's adjusting things. So these things are automatically going to ramp up and get at its maximum. And there's no heat sink on these chips, which I find very odd. But because it's only 145 watts, you don't really need to cool it. It's like the PCB itself is the heat sink. And we've seen this before for a 3080, a 3090, a 4090, right? Flip chip design, GDR type, GDR 6X, 5X, flip chip design. Most of the heat's going out the back. So either you suck it out through the front with a copper shim or a copper plate, or you just put thermal pads in the back and try to mitigate the heat that way. This thing, supposedly, through its design, the PCB itself is going to be cool. And if you just have any airflow, hot or not, it's going to be thermally fine. So thermal shouldn't be a problem. It's just going to be about the cost and the efficiency is really the big selling points. But yeah, Ben, I already met him before, and I got to meet him in person. Great guy. I mean, you know, he's a down to earth individual. I met I'm gonna do my best. Hopefully, I made you proud. Erva from Norway, and Christian from Norway. So these gentlemen, the business is in Norway. They live in Norway, but they do a lot of business, abroad and across. But they have facilities here that are going to be producing, like Global Foundry and stuff like that, are going to be producing these chips. But they're just regular guys that are very knowledgeable and very technical and nerd out on things just like we do. Like I caught up with Christian and Erva earlier today to pick up my little board, and they're just regular people. They're just they're a lot smarter than me, though. They got the degrees to do that type of design and stuff, like electrical engineering, chip design, PCB design, which many of you in the community are kicking ass, actually. And yeah, we're past the monetization point, so it doesn't matter. We're good. We're good. He already screwed it up earlier. You said the F word. I heard it. But it's all right. It's all right. You guys are going to like the video, and you're going to share it with your friends, because all we're doing is just spitballing and just going off the cuff. So enjoy.
So we can curse now?
Well, let's not say it like every 2 seconds, all right? It's okay if it slips, but let's not be like.
I got excited there for a second.
Yeah.
Okay, so you like them. Overall, you think it's a good quality of team that they're getting. What about plans? Have they shown you any plans for moving on to the future? Because right now they have a concept. They have the chip. They have that small. I think everybody else saw it. You know, that small. What do you call that? That kind of
that
board.
little PCB.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like a little tester PCB board that runs off a Type C.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now you have that, but they still don't have the entire hash rate that they're talking about with 100 and something.
255 chips.
255
for
chips.
145 watts total. Yeah.
Exactly. They don't have that yet, right?
Well, I'm sure there's a
Okay.
prototype design, but as far as being out in the wild that you, the end user, or I can do, no.
No. Okay. Did they show you how they're going to get this mass produced, for example? Did they show you a plan? Did they tell you, okay?
They talked
this is
about it.
next-
They didn't show me like a physical, so in the presentation provided to us, there wasn't a physical rollout or an actual planned rollout for how they're going to do it. They already have the plan. They talked about it, but it's something that I can't personally speak to. This is something that I would like to have Ben on the channel. Ben, if you're listening, I would like to have on the channel to talk more about.
That would be great.
But they do have a plan, and they are working to mitigate. Here's something that was very interesting to me. They're working to mitigate this centralization. What I mean by that is, say, for example, there's a big farm that orders 3,000 hash blades. Well, they're not
Yeah.
going to let that happen. They want these hash blades to be disseminated amongst the individuals.
So they're
the
going to limit the
small-
amount.
Yes, they want the small miners to be in the game. They want the mid-scale operations. Yeah, you can have some, but you can't have so many. The large scale, yeah, you can have some, but you can't have so many. So they're going to limit that because think about the impact. What happens? All these hash blades come out to the wild, similar to what we've seen with other projects like Condana in the past. All of a sudden, network difficulty spikes because of the hash rate increase. The price is not going up.
Yeah.
And then we just have a huge decrease in profitability and stuff like that. Well, people are going to sell out and sell their chips and get out of the game and move on to the next project. So they're going to have a negative impact by releasing all of these hash blades all at once or letting a large farm have a majority stake of it. But Dogecoin and Litecoin are huge.
It's going to be interesting how
So I
they're
don't
going to how they're going to prevent the large people from buying.
Yeah, that's
more and more
actually
and
a
more.
question that the hobby is posited, or I think no, it was Geek of All Trades, GOAT.
How are you gonna keep people from just creating a new email and a new
right? How are you gonna control these orders? Yeah,
we'll see how they do it.
You know, so saying is one thing, and anybody that knows me is I like to say what I mean what I say. Words are good. Actions are better, right? We need to see the action. We need to actually see the tangible results. So we'll see how things go, but I get a good feeling from the team. They weren't trying to snake oil me, and I actually felt comfortable around them, which is nice, and we'll see how things go, but I'm very interested. Is anybody got any questions in the live chat? Please feel free to post it. Thank you so much for stopping by. And is Hawk still live? Anybody in the live chat? Let me know if Hawk's still live. Go tell him to hit me up later. But so we're in an efficiency war right now.
Yeah.
Everything is just becoming like, oh, hey, this thing does this more efficiently, or this thing does this more efficiently. How do you think the landscape is going to shift later on?
Well, we gotta watch out for scammers. We gotta watch out for people who are coming into projects and just saying, hey, we got a more efficient chip. We want more efficiency. We as miners, we want to have more efficient equipment. Because network difficulty go up. We're all competing to get that coin, and a lot of times that means that some people take advantage of it. But this project, on the other hand, I briefly researched it a little bit. They all put their faces out there. They flew you guys in. They're like, this is what we have. This is who we are. And we were talking about it earlier. I don't want to name drop anything, but there are some people out there that don't show their faces.
Right.
There's some people out there that
we're not talking about Red Panda Mining. We're talking about at a vendor, reseller, production level. Not Red Panda's fine. We've seen his feet. He's real.
We've seen his feet, yes. Okay, so it's not Panda for sure, but there are some suppliers out there and some people who don't show their faces whenever they're coming out with a new product. And then what do you have to trust it? Who are you going after if this person just pulls the rug and they're out with the rug and you're left on nothing?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Spend all this money and have nothing to show for it.
So I think these guys, LokoTech guys, I'm not affiliated with them or anything. I haven't really looked into this project at all, but from what I'm hearing from you and other YouTubers, it's looking promising. From the outside perspective, it's looking like they're doing things right, at least on the right path. We'll see. Time will tell if they can actually come up with an actual ASIC that is actually be able to be manufactured at a mass level. Because from what I'm hearing, it's a lot of money into. There's a lot of money that goes into actually producing mass producing your own computer,
product,
your own computer. Your own. From the looks of it, it looks just like a GPU. What you're saying, it's a hash blade. 150 watts. It's just like a GPU. It gives me a lot of hopes that hopefully it looks like a GPU. And we can plug it into just a regular motherboard, and we can get.
Yeah, because it did show us slides that they want us to the 1U, the server 1U racks, the 2U racks. This would be really good for custom computing. Is in there, right? Sometimes they have the GPUs not vertical but horizontal, so laying flat that are connected to a Xeon processor, and then you can do whatever. So it is very intriguing. I'm very intrigued by it. But you just mentioned something. Why would they fly? Why would they? Their faces are on the website.
Yeah.
They have professional pages like on LinkedIn and stuff like that, and their education. Why the heck would you fly us out here if you were just going to snake oil us? So we got a question though. Solar miner in Spain. First off, solar miner in Spain. If you really are a solar miner in Spain, you're a boss, bro. I love it. Was it worrying hearing about Bitmain's control of BTC hash rate pools in Europe? Can you speak to that?
Was it worrying hearing about Bitmain's control of the BTC hash rate pools in Europe? I mean, Bitmain.
It is a little bit worrying because I heard some inside information about like Bitmain doesn't do like
Yeah.
say for example I have a bunch of Bitcoin ASICs and I'm
Yeah.
Bitmain. Not trying to poke the hornet's nest or anything. I am not Bitmain, but if I have a bunch of ASICs, say like the newer ones, the S21s, I don't want to do it under my business name. I would do it. I would give you these miners. I'm
Yeah.
going to pay you a lump sum of something, or I'm going to pay you monthly, or whatever the contract is, and you're going to run it. You're going to host it for me. But I own those miners that you're hosting for me.
These
so
companies do this.
Uh-huh.
We've been reached out before by
Uh-huh.
big companies, by one of the manufacturers. EndlessMining has been reached out by.
And
before.
we know Bitmain has the resources, so what are the chances that they are doing this?
No, okay. I'm gonna say my words on this. I'm gonna plead the fifth on this one, and I'm not gonna say anything. But I know that manufacturers do that. I know manufacturers host miners for sure. I know that. So I don't know about the pools in Europe. I do know that, I mean, they're manufacturing these units. They have a lot of hash power available. If they want to, they can tomorrow they can send 5,000, 10,000 miners somewhere and get them hosted. Why wouldn't they? If they're making money on it, if they see it as a good move, and also Bitcoin supporting the Bitcoin network.
It's not really too much of a concern though with Bitcoin because it's such a huge network. Like
10,000 miners. What is that going to do?
I'm waiting for the government to realize. Oh wait, we can't control Bitcoin, because they can't. They can't. I'm sorry. Like yeah, we can shut off the internet, but we're just gonna turn it back on. I'm not sure if you ever heard about that. So back in Egypt, back in the day, and we're getting ready to wrap up here. So if you have any last minute questions, comments, concerns, anything like that, add us a super chat. Solar Miner in Spain, thank you for that question. I understand it was on SNL. I think not Saturday Night Live, but Chump Change Saturday Night Live. I'm not sure.
Well, I don't know which of the two SNL.
Was it really on the SNL show, like the actual SNL Saturday Night Live show? That'd be crazy. But I'm not really too worried about Bitmain controlling the BTC hash rate because they would need to. Yeah, they got to have a lot of miners already dispersed throughout the world. But for them to actually, like, no one person, no one entity, no one government, no one country can control Bitcoin.
That's the idea behind Bitcoin.
Right.
That's the whole idea behind
Right.
Bitcoin, that nobody can control it. Nobody can get behind it and say, okay, you're gonna do this, and that. Yes, they can control the internet, but how much can you control of it? China's trying to do it right now. Everybody's using VPNs. Everybody's going around it. But that's the whole idea behind Bitcoin is that you can't control my money. I don't want you to know like
what I'm doing.
What
you
I'm
can't see
doing
my
with my money.
transactions.
You know what I
It's
mean?
my own. Yeah. Now you can. I know some people are concerned about privacy with Bitcoin, and there's different ways you can utilize Bitcoin to protect your privacy and different other coins that you can use. But that's not the question. The question is control of Bitcoin. I am not worried in the least. Just plain and simple. So yeah, it was Chump on SNL. So as I said, we're getting ready to wrap up here. Last thing, let's see here. I'm trying to think of what we could talk about because I don't want to take up too much time from y'all today, and I got other things to do tonight, so I appreciate you. Is Bitmain the largest manufacturer of Bitcoin ASICs? Yes.
I would probably say
100%. So Bitmain, and I think WhatsMiner and Avalon are kind of almost tied, aren't they? Or is it WhatsMiner and then Avalon? Or
it's a tough call.
yeah, but Bitmain is definitely the largest.
I would
Bitmain
say
is definitely the largest.
We sell a bit at Endless. We sell the most Bitmain. After that, it's WhatsMiner. And then Jasminer has been popping up recently. Yeah, my God, we've been selling Jasminers recently.
Well, that's another efficient device, right? If we get the X16-Q, quiet, right? I have the X16-4, very quiet.
We've been selling the X16-Q.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's efficient, it's quiet, and it hashes on ETC hash and stuff. So, excuse me. But, I mean, I'm intrigued by where the future is headed, to be honest, because if this efficiency war continues, it's just going to be beneficial for all of us, the end user, right? Because now we're going to have more efficient devices that are able to do exceptional performance while drawing less power. Because now somebody told me the other day that they believe the electricity prices are going to go down, but I agree that I think it's going to go up because you said that earlier, that electricity prices are going to continue to go up, especially because power companies are picking up on this, right? They're seeing the amount of power that people are drawing, not only at their homes, residential, but different locations. They're like, all right, if you're gonna use that kind of change, now we can work out a deal, but you're gonna have to pay for that. So we'll see how things go. But that's where hosting providers come in, is you can save some money.
We got another question. Is it possible for Bitmain to send out an auto update and repoint the hash rate to another pool? That's a good one. That's a
Firmware
great
update.
question.
Ooh.
I mean, it's their firmware.
It's
You
their
know,
firmware. They could, if they really wanted to,
They could be stealing. They could be stealing hash rate right now with you even knowing.
Not
your firmware,
I mean,
not your miners.
Put that on a shirt, Scott. Put that on a shirt. Somebody get that printed out for a stat. Oh, that's awesome.
I mean, yeah. I mean,
Unless we're gonna get a store for them, not your firmware, not your miners. So that's true though. That's true. If I wanted to say, for example, well, we've seen this before. Just like you said, scam hardware, which we have seen scam hardware before. I think we've seen on a number of times where people took pictures of somebody else's ASIC, changed the colors, and said, "Oh, it does 200 terahash at freaking 1800
they just
watts."
changed the labels.
It was just it was fake. It was never nothing. But then people were investing money and buying these things, and it turned out to be a whole lot of nothing. And there was a lot of during this bear market, this past one, there was a lot of rug pulls, a lot of what me and Yeti call copy and paste, and just basically trying to, I create a project. I talk about it. I get some content creators to talk about it. We pump the price up. We sell our bags, and then the new people get left holding the bags, and we move on to the next project. And we just keep jumping ship, and that's quite unfortunate. That's what I've seen more and more of in this bear market, because the people who actually build during the bear market have my attention, and I really appreciate them. So we'll see how things pan out. But that it's not just miners. It's also firmware. I've seen people on eBay selling firmware. And all it is
to boost your hash rate, better efficiency, stuff like that.
Extra 10 terahash, blah blah blah. It's like, what?
I've seen that too.
But what is it? What is packaged in that firmware? You don't know. There's no way to validate. Which, by the way, if you're interested, since we got the camera looking right at me, Yeti.uk, y3ti.uk. Right. This is an auditing website that is run by Yeti, myself, and hopefully a team in the future. Where we were auditing various software or pieces of software, software wallets, Pepe Pal, Meowcoin, soon to be hardware wallets. I've been doing smart contracts and stuff like that. So if you're not following that, check it out. And maybe we can start adding firmware to the mix. And maybe there's a particular firmware that you saw for a miner that you're intrigued about. The hard part about that with firmware is we can sandbox it and we can try to see what's in it, if there's anything malicious in it, but we really can't test the full thing unless we have access to the actual physical machine that firmware is designed for, or if you set up a secure environment with just one computer connected to that ASIC, so that way we can see what's happening over the network. That's really the best way to identify if there's something malicious happening on that firmware. But maybe if you guys are interested, me and Yeti can talk about it and we'll see what happens. But yeah, firmware, people try to run scams on that. People try to make fake miners that promise the world and don't deliver. And people try to make projects that promise the world and don't deliver. You just got to do your own research and be careful what you do.
Have you done any audits on the LokoTech guys? Maybe their website. Do you know if Yeti has done any?
No, we haven't done an audit on LokoTech. LokoTech came back on my radar this past week, and now I'm here. So will I be doing a deeper dive? Yeah, 100%. Right.
I'm interested in knowing what kind of details comes after. But I the same feeling that you're getting. I'm not getting from outside perspective. Like I said, I'm not getting any sort of bad feelings from it. So
yeah, and I don't want people to hear me and be like, oh well, Vega likes them and trusts them, then maybe I should. Don't do that. Like it's really, I get a good vibe. The people have a coherent team. They're saying the right things. We'll see how things go, but we really need the physical, tangible product in front of us or in your hands, so we could properly test it. And if you guys do get the Hashblade, reach out to your fellow content creators, whoever it might be, the hobbyist miner. Maybe hobbyist miner will get one. I'm not sure. I'm not in a position to spend another $2,000 with the build I have going in the future. So I got to chill. Wife is going to kill me. I got to chill, okay?
When is it? So $2,000 for the pre-order. When is it coming out, though?
It looks like not even till second half of 2024. So I'm gonna say just point blank Q4 2024 or Q1 2025. So you're gonna be waiting a long time. Now you mentioned something earlier, which is the L9. When's the L9 come out, and how is that gonna compete with the Hashblade? And so that's why the LokoTech team is being so tight-lipped and trying to protect their IP. And I understand why. But if the L9 comes out and it's able to do 15 terahash at 3,300 watts, how is that going to fit into the narrative and stuff like that? So we'll see. It really comes down to when the product's actually in the hands of end users like yourself or your fellow content creators, and then bringing you the data so you guys can go from there. But if you ain't got $2,000 and if you spent $2,000 right now, and then you can't pay your car note or your rent or feed your family, you're doing it wrong, first off. But I wouldn't be making investments like that unless you have the actual capital to do so. But larger operations and some of the people that have money to blow, if you want to play with because it's a very efficient device, I wouldn't be mad at you.
No financial advice.
Not financial advice. I would not be mad at you, though. So you do what's best for you. I'm going to do me, you do you, we'll meet in the middle. But the crypto community, all I could say to you guys is stay positive, keep your head down, keep stacking them sats. And it's all about community. It's all about networking, right?
Yeah.
Hanging out with your colleagues, hanging out with your friends, catching up, trying to provide information to one another or data. If you see something concerning, call it out. The rest of the community pops on. Like Trade Ogre. I'm not going to talk more about that, but you guys know what's going on with Trade Ogre.
You still can't withdraw your Caspa?
Nope.
You still can't?
Nope.
My God, it's been what,
they
a month
ghosted
now?
us. They ghosted us, bro. They just not talking.
I've been trying to buy Caspa. Man, I'm telling you, I've been trying to buy Caspa for the longest time now, and every time I do, something comes up, and now it's Trade Ogre. Because I was trying to buy it right now with Trade Ogre. I couldn't buy it.
Nope.
I had a question for you. Did you have to sign anything with LokoTech?
No.
Nothing.
No, it was just a gentleman's agreement. Hey, just, we're having an event. Please come out here. For right now, just keep it hush-hush until after the event. Then you guys can, show your content and everything. So literally, as soon as the event was done, Hobbyist had a video up, like the baller he is. I waited till I got home and then, or back to the hotel, and then I got a stream up. But yeah, no, there was no NDA, no agreement. It was just a gentleman's agreement.
Love it.
Right?
Love it. That's,
Between
that's
content
interesting to know.
Yeah.
That's very interesting to know. Because I thought maybe they would have made you sign something beforehand. Right. Like, hey, you can't say anything, sign here. Make sure you don't actually. But no, that's nice. That's nice. I like that.
I don't know if that legitimizes it even more or if that makes it more of a scam. I don't know. But long story short, it's just, hey, we want to show you this basically validation that the chip is real, may not be operating at full speed. Here it is. Here's the hash rate. Here's the performance that we're expecting from this. We got the foundry locked in. It's smart ASIC technology, so if one of the chips go down, it doesn't take all the other chips down behind it. If something's going wrong with the chip, the microcontroller will kind of like run it at quarter speed, but it still wouldn't impact you negatively by not letting the other chips work. Because with the Bitmain or most ASICs now, they operate in a series. So you get 1 to like 1 through 5, 5 through 10. 10 through 15, and if you keep going and you get to a certain one and that one's dead, the rest of behind it don't work. So I'm intrigued by it. Kind of reminds me of Brains OS, but we'll see how things go. I would just say manage expectations, keep your head down, keep stacking them sats, and keep grinding. Now, do we have any last-minute questions? Because we got to get on out of here. What is this? Says Chump Change. Sick, bro. What's up, Chump Change? Hope you're doing all right.
Shout out to Chump. We were just talking about you earlier.
Yeah, we were. It would have been nice to have everybody here. Next time we're in Maryland, D.C., we need to come hang out with EndlessMining at CYM Media.
We can set it up here.
I mean, look at this
I was
place.
telling you, it would have been nice to have everybody sitting here.
Yeah, we just have a panel,
questions,
like
answers,
you said.
Something like that. It would be cool.
It would have been
setup
sick.
around here.
It definitely would have been sick. I mean, this is a nice. I would love this. Scott, can you build one of these in my house?
You got it, boss.
All right, sweet. But I really enjoyed DC. Thank you for having me. I really enjoyed catching up, and I look forward to seeing everybody again. Hopefully, if not later on this year, which we're almost done. Wow, 2023 is almost done, dude.
So what have we done? Thanksgiving coming up.
Yeah.
Ah.
I'm gonna be in Indiana,
fast.
by the way, for Thanksgiving. If anybody lives over there, I don't know if I'll be able to come see you. We'll see. I don't know. But yeah, I'm gonna be in Indiana for Thanksgiving. North of Carmel. Hit me up, and you guys know where to find me. Endless, where can people find you?
EndlessMining.com.
All right, and you have, what are your socials? You got Twitter. You got
Everything.
You got everything? All right.
Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, everything.
I got everything too, but I got banned from TikTok. I don't know why I got banned from TikTok. I don't know if the Chinese don't like me. I'm
what
joking.
What were you posting? Come on, be honest.
No,
Drop
dude,
it
was
what were you
my
posting?
first post was the Grin iPolo miner, the mini, the G1 Mini. That was it. That was it. Somebody must have like hacked over my account and started like posting like chick pics or something. I don't know. I don't know what happened. All I know is I got a message and I can't sign
in.
in.
You can see a lot of chicks in TikTok right now. They have a lot of freedom with that going on right now. Maybe he was posting feet pics or something like that.
No.
Something weird.
No. There was none of that. None of that. But no, yeah, Twitter, IG, I do have a Facebook page, but that's pretty much it. But yeah, Twitter, crypto Twitter is real, and I know it's not Twitter, it's X. Thanks, Elon. But yeah,
X.com.
that's where you can find us. EndlessMining.com. If you need ASICs or if you're looking at hosting your ASICs, and stay tuned to the community. Appreciate your support. Appreciate the love. Keep hanging out with one another. Keep networking. Keep building those relationships. And keep setting your expectations or your goals higher so that way you can achieve it. And let's all grow together. Because as I talked with Michael Carter from Bits Be Trippin', he says there's more room for all of us to grow. And there is. There's room for all of us in this community. Let's keep growing together. But thank you so much for hanging out with me.
Thank you for being here. I appreciate it.
No problem.
You're welcome anytime.
Oh, dude, next time we're definitely, and we need to get you guys in here too. But all right, thank you so much for hanging out. Do me a favor, hit the like button on the way out. Make sure to get subscribed, hit the notification button to stay up to date, as well as check out some of the links in the description to help support the channel and what we do here. And I'll link down to Endless Mining as soon as I have the opportunity. Catch you on the next one. Take care.
Awesome.
Beautiful.